Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch the video here. I really appreciate it. And man, fall's creeping up on us right now. We're getting towards the end of the month, but I just can't believe that summer's gone. It's just like, it just seems like yesterday, we were just starting to get into June, and now it is fall coming on, and it just seems like the older you get, the more time speeds up. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. All you guys out there that are over 40 know what I'm talking about. It's like time speeds up every single year. So, man, it's just, there was things that slow down sometimes. But hey, anyway, today we're going to talk about the two best baits that I know about to get a big bite in the fall. The two that I'm going to show you guys here are my favorite big bass fall lures. Give you some tips and advice on how to fish them and what to look for on it. Just real quick, just wanted to remind everybody that on my own channel here, we talked about the memberships that I'm offering on the channel. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, going a little bit further, you can go on the About section of my YouTube page, click on Intuitive Memberships, and you can check out all the info for becoming a member of the channel. A lot of perks to it. And also, if you guys are interested in signing up for any of my on-the-water lessons, just go to my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler. Shoot me a private message and I can get back with you that information. Actually, my Facebook page has been hacked right now. I don't even, it's like my wife's an admin on it and she can get information, she can get stuff, but I can't get it on my phone, so I'm trying to deal with that. But anyway, you guys can shoot me either a note here in the comments or on the Facebook, and we'll get back with you on that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about these big bass fall lures. There's two situations where I like to use really big, oversized, giant baits. One is in the late pre-spawn, and the other time is like getting to be right now, like October. It seems like to me that like March and October are the 2 months that I use these big, giant baits, the ones that I'm going to show you here. And the two that I'm going to show you here, I've talked about this first one a little bit, is the Megabass 262T glide bait. But the other one I want to talk about is this Megabass Mega Dog topwater lure. This thing is giant right here. You can see it compared to the 262T, how big it is. And just to give you guys a size comparison, here is the Nanahan jerk bait that I did a video on last week. And that'll show you guys how much massive this bait is. This thing is a huge chunk of plastic here. Anyway, these two baits here, when you're talking about these baits here, you're talking about a commitment. If you guys are interested in what I'm going to share with you on this video, the first thing that you have to remember is that you can't go out and throw these things for like an hour and expect to know if they're going to bite it or not. When you start fishing like this giant Mega Dog and the 262T, it's something where you have to bring one rod for each of these and not put them down. Throw them all day long. That is the key. All the guys that catch big fish on these things, that's what they do. They throw them all day long and they look for those bite windows during the course of the day. A good day on this particular bait, if you get like 2 to 3 bites on either one of these, that is considered a really good day. But the bites that you're going to get on these things are going to average 4 to 7 pounds. I mean, it's been all my experience, all my experience on them, and all the experience of the friends of mine that throw these things, that you're looking at a 4 to 7 pound average bite when you get this thing. And that's the big draw to them. That's why they're so attractive to that. And a lot of people don't think like the Mega Dog here. I mean, this thing's about 12 inches long, close to it. And, a 7 pound bass will eat a 12-inch gizzard shad and not think anything about it. So when you are throwing a big giant bait like this, don't think that a big one won't hit it, because I've had 2-pounders hit this thing before. I mean, a bass is ferocious, and, a 4 to 7 pound bass won't think twice about hitting this thing. It looks awesome in the water, coming through the water too. And the same with the glide bait here. I mean, the glide bait like this, 12-inch bait, a 7 pound bass will eat 12-inch bass all day long. That's what, a lot of these things resemble. So the question is what do you want to fish these things around? Another key to catching bass on these big baits is where you fish them at. You have got to fish them in the type of areas where the bigger fish live. And you've also got to fish them where the bass have an opportunity to have both a horizontal angle of attack and a vertical angle of attack. So from that standpoint, the number one place that I fish both of these baits on is on main lake and secondary points and bluff banks. Those three options right there. I'll get into the main lake bluffs, bluff ends, parallel them, make long casts with both of these things. I'm trying to target really that 4 to 10 foot zone, particularly if the water visibility is over 3 feet. I don't really like throwing these things unless you have at least 3 foot of visibility. Ideally, I like 4 to 6 foot visibility for these things to work the best, because they're a sight bait. Both of them are a sight bait. And since you're dealing with trying to pull fish up and from a great distance sideways, you need that clear water for the visual strike factor there. Second things is, like I said, besides the bluff banks, is the main lake and secondary points. They can be steep points or they can be flat points. A lot of times I'll get out on those flatter gravelly type points, get out like in 15 to 20 foot of water, fan cast all around the points with these things. And even on a steeper point, you know, I still are in 15, 25 feet of water thrown to the bank with them. So the point angle doesn't really make much of a difference. It just needs to be a point that is adjacent to deeper water. That's what's going to put those bigger fish up there. The other factor on that is the conditions, the weather conditions that you have to have. And there's two different scenarios that I like to fish these things in. When I'm fishing the glide bait, I like windy conditions. I like 15 to 20 mile an hour winds, something that's really breaking that surface up, because that's what will get those fish a little bit shallower on those points. And most of the big ones I've ever caught on the big glide bait have come on windy days. Cloud conditions, not quite as important. It can be clear, partly cloudy, but those windy days is what fires the fish up with this. But the Mega Dog, the top water, I like just a little bitty ripple on the water, not like a big chop or 15 mile an hour wind, just something to break the surface up, and they'll come out of 25 or 30 foot of water to hit this thing, just viciously. So that's the two situations I'm looking for. Both of these particular baits, I'm fishing on 25 to 30 pound test line. I use monofilament line on the Mega Dog so it doesn't sink down. I use fluorocarbon on the 262T because I want it to sink a little bit more. And then you have to have a good glide bait rod. I use the Megabass Warhammer for it, which works really good. But you have to have something that will handle, a 4 to 6 ounce bait and whatever rod that you use. So anyway, guys, give them a try. They got them at Baitworks here in Springfield, Missouri. I'll include the Baitworks links. I know they got a good selection of the 262Ts and the Mega Dogs up there. Just buy one, man. Just check it out. It's just, if you can just get one of them, give it a try this fall. When you guys get out there on your typical fishing day, throw it for a little bit. If you get a couple bites on it, just put it in your hand and throw it all day long. And if you really want to learn how to fish it, don't take anything to the lake except these two baits, 2 rods, nothing else in the boat. It'll force you to throw that and just sort of see what happens. But like I said, if your lake has over 3 foot of visibility, these things are going to be a player come October. And it's a great way. It's the best way that you're going to have to catch a giant fall bass. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, guys. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and we'll be back soon.